Nearly 33 years have passed since the wall came tumbling down. I remember that day very clearly. I was a 20-year-old pursuing my graduation in Mumbai. Then, of course, the city was called Bombay. That image of joyful Berliners on both sides, chipping away at the wall with hammers and small household tools, is still vivid in my mind, just as it was on my parents' box TV over 3 decades ago. That, my dear friends, is the finest example of human spirit and determination, mankind's love for freedom, and hatred towards the walls that divide or confine them have never been better expressed than the raising of the Berlin Wall. Delegates attending the World Investment Conference, a warm hello to all of you. I began by talking about the Berlin Wall to make a point about new walls that are being built around us. Walls that may again divide people, nations, and mankind. People of my generation lived and worked in a relatively unwalled world. The fall of the Berlin Wall heralded an era of social and economic globalization. Mutual trust, respect, and friendship served as a foundation for global cooperation. Developed countries formed trade and investment alliances with emerging economies. This aided developing countries in lifting several millions of their citizens out of misery and poverty. The world had become a much better place to live. Cooperation between nations and well laid out global value chains, or GVCs, helped countries grow at a much faster clip. The rapid growth of GVCs at the turn of the millennium was simply mind-boggling. A mobile phone or desktop computer assembled in China ran on software programs developed in the United States, tested by engineers in India, and consumed by people all over the world. The 15,000 odd components that make up a modern car are sourced from different parts of the world. The product development capabilities of the world strengthened due to the presence of global value chains. But good times don't always last long. The expansion of GVCs started plateauing after the global financial crisis of 2008 and 9. Post the collapse of Lehman Brothers, the narrative that a closely connected world would result in financial contagion spreading thick and fast gathered traction. The wheels of hyperglobalization began slowing down soon thereafter. A series of shocks that came in the form of extreme climatic disasters, geopolitical tension, increased protectionism, trade conflicts, and technology wars yanked and snapped parts of the global value chains that served us well till then. Then came the COVID-19 pandemic, which left GVCs in complete disarray. This resulted in our headline growth numbers declining substantially. Global trade as a percentage of GDP fell to 52% in 2020 from 61% in 2008. Global FDI as a share of GDP shrunk to 1.4% in 2020, down from 3.8% in 2008. The US-China trade dispute, the Russia-Ukraine war, and the economic and social disparities that COVID-19 has left in its wake have worsened the situation even further. The president of the European Central Bank, Ms. Christine Lagarde, summed it up rather succinctly when she said, "The world is moving from dependence to diversification, from efficiency to security, and from globalization to regionalization." We now live in a multipolar world, with most nations looking after their own interests. Free trade is on borrowed time, as trade blocs and alliances are emerging everywhere. Conversations around like-minded partnerships and friendshoring are resonating more than ever. And global value chains are being constrained by walls that we are re-erecting. This shift in global value chains will have a long-lasting negative impact on our energy needs, food security, health, and climate action journey. Take the case of energy. Developed countries are moving towards renewable energy at a much faster pace than the rest of the world. The million-dollar question is, how will poor countries meet global clean energy norms? Who will pay for green energy installations in a developing nation in Asia or Africa? Developed nations must give poor and developing nations patient capital and green technologies if they desire to wean off the world of fossil fuels. Climate action can occur only if the world walks in one direction, together. A world with many walls and different paths may never get us there. The same holds true for global food security and health. How frequently do we come across news reports of hunger, agony, and emaciation in the aftermath of natural disasters? Thankfully, countries have provided food, aid, and medical assistance in a timely manner. Such kind gestures can only happen in a wall-less world. The world's biggest challenge right now is climate change. Climate change is the root cause of all recent natural disasters worldwide. As per a report by the UN Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, the year 2020 recorded 389 environmental disasters that impacted 98.4 million people and booked economic losses worth 171 billion. The poor and disadvantaged segments of our population bear a large portion of the cost of environmental damage. Climate-related disasters push the poor to extreme poverty. Businesses and governments, therefore, should try to be more planet positive in their approach. Being planet positive means giving back to the planet more than we take from it. I'm proud to report here that I belong to a business group that started its climate journey way back in 2008. The Mahindra Group believes in the need for decarbonizing industry. We aspire to be a planet-positive business group by 2040, and a number of actions are being taken along this front even now. We realize that corporations will have to play a critical role in addressing climate change. This is part of doing it together. These actions need to be an important agenda on the CEO's task list, which cannot be delegated. And please be assured, I don't delegate these. The Mahindra Group is transitioning to EV in a big way. We have an auto recycling business, a solar power business. Our real estate business is now almost fully focused on constructing net zero carbon residential communities. And other businesses also have embarked on that long and arduous climate action journey. To become planet positive, the world must come together, stay together, and act together. The need of the hour is global cooperation. We should stop building walls around us. We should build bridges that bring our worlds together. Thank you.